Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am sincerely, truly, I'm truly inspired and excited to start again today. And brothers and sisters, all of you who are with me already, and my gratitude. Yes, and the thumbnail today, the imagery, spot on. It was beautiful. And yeah, the ego killer kicking back on a gorilla. You know, having some fun today. Talcott Tuesday. Truly, greetings all. Blessings to everyone tuning in, whether it's live or later, whatever platform, whatever method or reason. Thank you for joining. I have been having fun today, sincerely, and my thought was, I'm really excited to start because I honestly never know what might happen, especially after I drop the links, man. Holy cows, I come in here with one idea and it just goes sideways some days, but I'm learning and growing. And brothers and sisters, I got a lot to share today. So to start with, I'm going to start kind of slow. Even though I already talk slow, I know, but I'm going to start. In other words, I may hold off on opening up the panel for a little bit because things have been changing. Things have been happening. And the topic today, the topic I do want to get to is some tips I've learned, some real obvious, simple observations that if you incorporate these things into your life, makes sense. Why not? And it's got the potential of really transforming how you live. The topic today, finding comfort with joy. And there's many ways that can be received and understood. Comfort with joy. We'll get into that. But, you know, back to the images and the fun. There's me chilling out comfortably and joyfully on a big old gorilla, you know, and it's almost white. And for those who know, you know, Paul's almost white too. He's kind of pinkish. Sometimes he gets pretty red. But it could be easily said that today, where I sit in front of love, filled with love, I joyfully sit upon the comfort, you know, brought forth by a white gorilla you might know of, especially if you've been around for a while. So back to some messages. Really, it's just a fun and cute picture, right? But the message I was thinking is greater comfort and joy can be found beyond the challenges that life seems to bring. Life can bring us times where it seems pretty hopeless and dark. But if you can find within you, right here, a proven key, this is a proven key to overcoming the challenges of life. Lean in and enjoy the discomfort. You can find a way to do that for yourself. And what I mean, well, we'll get into that a little more, but a proven key to overcoming the challenges of life is to lean in and enjoy the discomfort with confidence that the memories of success will bring more joy and comfort for your future. I mean, it's actually pretty simple and obvious. It's the patterns of life. You know, if you want to get more healthy and exercise your muscles, you don't just sit around and do nothing to watch them grow. You lean into what's a little painful, a little uncomfortable. You press yourself a little bit more so that you can grow. Well, that's what life does. It brings us individual karmic and spiritual lessons that we've signed up for, or we volunteered for, or whatever. We're here. Life is for us. So I found a way, and here, my praise, and all my, I don't know what the right word is, but all my praise goes to God. It's by God's grace, by God's glorious design. I don't know how it works, but somehow God allowed me to open my mind, open my eyes, so that my mind's eye can see the world a little more clearly. And I found that by looking at myself. God is so amazing. I mean, sincerely, the one Father, source, Father, Mother, the one that's beyond the gender, the one creator that is the all, that is the everything, the one creator that allows every breath. A breath is pretty magical. The breath of life. So, brothers and sisters, to find more comfort and joy, seek it. The way to find it is within yourself. It's not out there. We were born into a backwards world that enforces the ego more than the conscience, more than the conscious, more than anything. See, brothers and sisters, this world we were born into has been corrupted. And it's been obvious. Here's something. I had to wrestle with some guilt earlier. I realized long ago when I was a young, maybe even preteen, like 12 years old, maybe I was an early teenager. I realized the problem of the world was those damn secrets. But I didn't spend much time on that thought. So shame on me for not sharing what was obvious way back when. But brothers and sisters, this is why I live today. It's the path and purpose I've chosen for myself. I live to honor the Christ. I live to honor Jesus in my life and how I choose to live for the rest of my life. And I think to honor Jesus, it would be pretty silly not to try to end wars. I mean, he was all about uniting and forgiving and compassion and love, right? Live without the fear. Fear not. Do not be afraid. Those words are repeated many, many times in that book the religions all go to. Love. Love is what we all want. And what I realized in my own life, the only one who denied me love or provided me love was truly me. See, every problem I found, every time I got angry, every disagreement I wanted to hold on to, it punished me. I denied myself feeling happiness. See, happiness is a symptom of love. If you're not happy, where's your love? What's going on? Because honestly, truly, I don't know how to explain myself more clearly for people to understand me. What I've done for myself is truly devoted myself, committed myself to becoming more like him. And the way to do that is to surrender. Surrender to God, and it feels pretty good. Sometimes it can take a little while to build up the trust, but if you stop and think about it, you're the only one who can deny yourself love. You're the only one who can believe that you're separated from the love of God. Please don't. Because if everyone felt the love of God within themselves, I'm pretty sure we'd be able to unite together. We'd be able to get beyond the disagreements and the beliefs and the opinions and all the judgment that these silly people want to play around with. Finding comfort with joy. Those two go together. Okay, so pay attention to how you feel. We were born into a world that focuses on opinions, and then, no one really knows how to think because everyone's been conditioned to remember. But praise God, God allows us all the ability to learn, so much as I've discovered. And the way to learn is simply um, an open mind and the opportunity. Individually, each of us, we're the only ones who can close our mind with judgment, with worry, with whatever we want. This is what I've learned for myself. So, see, all the wisdom that's found through the idea of the Tao from the Buddhic philosophies, from the ancient wisdom, the it's all God. it's all God. Everything that any of us is going to experience is through the grace and purpose of God. Now, God has given the honest mind, right? God has given the honest mind, the open mind, the humble mind. God has given those minds the ability to consider, to go to the heart, to reflect, to realize more things. See, the honest mind is the open mind. The open mind is the humble mind. Yesterday in the stream during the conversations, there was a connection pointed out, and I considered it a little more too today, the connection between humility and humanity. And we got off onto the hue and the breakdown of the word. And I had actually heard that there are practices where hue is said as a word, a vibration for God, for the creation. So, oh yeah. Hey, blessings. Thank you, neutral ground. I trust everything is good. Sean Osborne, random fan, welcome. Hey, doesn't God know when each individual is going to accept the faith? Why should we change it to Jack's goals? Everyone can live how they want. That's my suspicion. I can't prove that. But I believe that every one of us gets to live how we want. We get to believe what we want. We can allow ourselves to be controlled by whatever we think can control us. So I lived a life without faith. It included a lot of worries and fears and a lot of doubts and regrets. And go ahead. Don't listen to me. I don't care. I'm living with love, man. I am living with love, and love is God. God is love in my life, and I love God all day long. See, this is where my experience is a little bit different than others, is by my life path, it brought me the opportunities and circumstances, temporary, of course, but the opportunities to spend a lot of time alone thinking. So I used to think about ways to end wars and change the world. And I didn't get any way. I found myself doing a poor job of communicating it. So then I realized if I really want to do what I want to do, where's the best way to do it? You turn to God. So that's what I did. And then I discovered God's connection to me, which is the same connection to you. There's no separation between me or you or us or God. There's only the one moment of time that we are experiencing together. Isn't it glorious? Every new moment is a new, different moment because the whole world is changing. You and I may be paying attention to this, but the world is going on. And there's a lot of things happen in the world, man. It's hard to really know. So, this is one of the things I was going to talk about. Thank you for the reminder. I did actually, well, no, I did not meet with city council members after the meeting. But it's a great group of people there. And I know how these ideas come across. It's really easy to find reasons to deny it or not want to even consider it. But I followed up today. Well, let me correct. After speaking at the general forum, for those who don't know, yes, after the stream, I went down to city council, and during the general forum, I got to speak for a couple moments. And I posted a link in my posts, and it's easily found. Anyway, the council president did follow. She followed through after the meeting, and we connected. She took my number. I didn't ask about her schedule, but she's a busy lady. I understand that. So she took the number and said that we would connect by phone or find a way to have coffee, whatever. And I followed up with an email today too. So we never know what may happen until we try. I'm not sure where it'll go, but I do know what I'm saying is simple and obvious, and it actually aligns with the religions, with the Bible at least, not necessarily the religions, but what I'm saying does align with the sources of the religions, because I can say what I'm offering, stay true, be practice the art of flow and Zen. The Buddhist philosophy is true too. So, excuse me, why does everyone want to stay confused? I don't understand. Hey, thank you. I felt that way as well. Rather than having a bunch of notes, I think I had two. I don't remember what I had. I keep it. I keep notes everywhere, but um, I felt it did come across more smoothly, and the purpose is to continue conversations. And honestly, the question I asked, it may have been able to be found online, and if I don't find an answers, I suppose I'll pursue the other options, or maybe not. But really, I just want to have conversations with people in the community, because, and you're a part of the community. Oh, I just dropped the link too. So for those who do wish to join, we are the community that is here and present right now. And to me, finding a way to end wars, end poverty, seems pretty obvious and pretty simple. It just takes a willingness to try. Oh, yeah, because this idea, again, the more I look at things, by God's grace, once you see the world, you cannot unsee it. Once you find in your heart a willingness to be wrong and just want to know, once you start seeing what is happening, you cannot unsee it. And once you cannot unsee what is happening, well, the propaganda that's so well funded in the media and the entertainment and the news and the politics, all of this nonsense, you won't have any time for it. And like this argument for content, you won't have much time for it. Well, everyone's life is different. I find myself with time, time without a clear purpose, and I enjoy entertaining myself, trying to find a way to communicate with some of the chaos. But hey, blessings, everyone. I believe everyone is welcome to join today. I really am feeling peaceful. One of the things I noticed about myself yesterday is, well, I had expectations, and maybe I didn't communicate my expectations or my hopes clearly, but regardless, people weren't doing anything wrong. They were just being themselves. I know the world can become a lot better simply by people becoming better people. I drifted away. So one of the observances I noticed, right? Once you see things, you can't unsee it. And one of the patterns I noticed sitting there at city council again was the discussions regarding budgets and violence. Hey, we got a guest here. I'm going to continue this, but bring him on up. Welcome, Hank. How are you today, brother?
You just say everyone, and I guess that includes your mod team.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. um, here, Hank, I think you can respect this. You see the world a little outside of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Budgets and violence. I was thinking about those two things earlier. Budgets and violence. Profits and loss versus violence and oppression. That's exactly what that's exactly what drove slavery.
Correct.
The chase for profits, budgets and violence. It was through the violence that slavery happened. Through manipulation, and propaganda in America, they told everyone they're free. But look how the codes and the policies everything is violently imposed upon it. The American way is violence and budgets.
Yeah, there's two more factors.
What's that?
So entitlement and sloth, because you're not gonna hire slave. You're not gonna just take slaves unless you just don't feel you feel entitled to your labor and don't want to do the work yourself some other way. That's why the Industrial Revolution pretty much made slaves irrelevant, because it was so easy to do a lot of the stuff you used to use slaves for, and machines are easier to manage than people, even if they are slaves. So that's why progress really destroyed slavery.
Well, it creates the appearance it destroyed slavery because you were offering laziness and it, what I heard was selfishness.
Yes. Yes.
Selfishness is behind it. And if you think about it, selfishness are going to be those ones, oh no, we're over budget. We can't do this. We got to dig into our savings. I was like that way. Hey, we've got another brother to the show. I'm not going to make him wait. Welcome, the Machine Lies. How you doing today?
Greetings. I'm having a blessed day. How about you, my friend?
Um, Truly, I am truly feeling blessed. Hey, um, Lindsay Smith, it's a great question. What is wrong with having some expectations? You might be disappointed in others, but can't you at least have reasonable expectations for yourself? That is absolutely true. Where I found most of my disappointment was I found myself placing expectations on others. Maybe it is taking my expectation of myself and transferring it onto others. Holy cows, I bet that's what it is I'm doing. It
Yeah, you
is.
got it. You got it.
It is what I'm doing. And my frustration that brings up the angry cot comes from the expectation of myself and the expectation that I'm transferring onto others. Life is pretty amazing when you pay attention. Hey, back to the question though, Lindsay. Yes, reasonable expectations for ourselves. Now, what is reasonable? And who is the self? And who's creating the standard of the reasonableness? I spent a lot of time in my past with these ideas of these. I expected perfection from myself, yet I wasn't paying attention. I was self sabotaging and I was miserable. But lately, I found myself pretty accepting of myself and others, but I continue to keep trying to improve. I find a lot of people expect perfection out of me. So, you know,
I
here,
don't know. I don't even understand what perfection even means. So I need someone to show it to me first.
actually, what if right now is perfect?
No, perfect don't meet my standards.
What would you change?
Mm. I don't know why it would change, but I wouldn't necessarily call it perfect. I mean, sure something. Maybe I'll change the shipping speed of the monitors I ordered. Yeah, that's what I would change. I'll make it so it get here on Thursday or Wednesday or Friday. That's what I would change.
But I'm talking about this moment. This moment.
That's
It
directly in this moment. It's being shipped right now.
Well, see, that sounds perfect. It's on its way. Maybe not as quickly as you'd hope, but it's perfect. It's on its way. And
I
right
wouldn't
here.
call. I wouldn't call that perfect though.
All
That's just
right.
my.
I understand what I'm trying to show. I mean, honestly, I have found and it makes sense and it works. It's reasonable. We can literally believe whatever we want as long as it's true. So life really is how we tell the story. So there's a lot of people who aren't, yeah, they're living a life where they're telling stories and they're not. Anyway. Hey, Machine Lies, welcome to you, brother. I kind of took off right after you showed up.
It's quite all right. Um, yeah, I think a lot of our expectations come from a faith in the future, and I would say a faith in progress. Some would even go so far as to create a pseudo sort of eschatology of progress where they see everything is headed, into a sort of futurism. But then the other danger of our expectations is just in the plans we have, because especially when those plans are based on unstable needs and artificial needs, simplicity is the cornerstone of the heart. And I think simplicity and sincerity go together. One who makes one's wants and needs very few has less expectation and has greater faith in what one can accomplish.
Beautifully spoken. Beautifully said. That is the key that I found where my happiness is simple to find. And it's kind of what I was trying to get Hank to consider. If you can allow yourself to be a part of this moment, and it's always this moment, whenever it is, and you are, it's that moment. So if you can allow yourself to be a part of the moment and surrender yourself to the moment, become one with the perfection that time really is, that's all you got to do is walk with perfection. Allow perfection to walk with you. And my thoughts earlier when I said I truly do. I truly live to honor the story, the example of Jesus in order to glorify the Father, which was his purpose. And so each day I invite that spirit, the heart of God, to join me and lead me through the day. And I'm telling you guys, this feels like the right way we're supposed to be living. And with that, I know that the perfection of Christ is with me. Now, sometimes I step out and I get angry and I lose sight of God's perfection and God's timing and God's mystery. And then I get in my head and the angry cock comes out. But brothers and sisters, I'm pretty sure this is what they were teaching us. Surrender to the moment, and the eternal life starts to be realized. Because the kingdom of heaven is for those who know, right? Who walk with love. The kingdom of heaven is here to be realized by the children of God. I'm pretty sure the children of God are intended to appreciate, right? So, whatever. Thoughts?
So, yes. So a couple of things. I really don't. I do like. What called? I read Perfect Present, and I actually really don't like using the term perfection that way because it devalues it to the point of meaninglessness. Because there's all kinds of wars going on in the world, and wouldn't it be better if they stopped? But saying the world's perfect the way it is, if it's in a state that we don't want to be in, then perfect's not good enough for us. And
Well, if we can stay within our own perspective and accept the reality of where we are and how we are, God has allowed us to be. And here, I use this word a lot, but there's a true mystery behind life and the order of life and the perfection of the order. There's a mystery behind it all. So I allow myself to accept the words that the other ascended masters have taught, the other great minds of philosophy and such. We're here to expand our minds and our hearts. We're not here to collect property and memorize rules of other people. That's a bunch of crazy nonsense, man.
and another thing, due to my nature, I can't stay in the moment outside of very specific context. I'm just naturally a very destructive oriented person. I mean, so you know how to kind of destruction. So I had to keep that limited to the special control context because otherwise I'll be far too antisocial to adapt to a society. So it may work for some people. I just know it doesn't work for me.
Well, perhaps not yet. Perhaps not in the past. Perhaps it wasn't time and it wasn't the right thing for you then. But that focus of your mind, we all have these varying levels of tendencies, right? For the tendency of manipulation and the darkness. And we have all similar levels of those tendencies. But brother, there's a gift to what is called the autistic mind that I don't believe has been properly understood yet. And as in my limited experience, my limited understanding, some are very gifted with the way they see their mind's vision. Now, if that mind's vision can be trained, which I believe anyone can train, anyone can can transform themselves just by changing the patterns of their mind and where they direct their focus. You may have some intuitive gifts of spiritual natures and knowing that you haven't discovered yet. But the ways of the world have created us how we are. And it's not just the ways of the world, it's the ways of the world and our choices and God's grace, God's purpose. The way I find peace within myself truly is I remind myself what was, was. What is. What will be, I guess, will be. It's God's plans. We just get to play along like we're important or something. And I really don't think we're that important to God's plans unless we're present and honest and authentic, faithful, loving, all the good things. Hey, our pool, that's a word that's open to definition and interpretation, because the things God's allowed me to discover, we could be a generation that, there's some amazing discoveries, and there are some incredible things that are happening within this world. I was wondering earlier, based on some of the things I've heard predicted, what is God's plans? Because one of the things I've heard repeated several places is that the human body, especially those on the spiritual path, the purpose is we're going from the dark density, the duality of third dimension, and we will rise above into the fifth dimensional energies of thought, which is truly unity. Unity and love is the higher vibration energies of people. But I've heard it said that biologically, somehow we're going to go from carbon-based life forms into more of a crystalline structured body. And I don't know what that means, but I've heard it said a lot of people. And it could make sense. There's like an ether, perhaps a morphogenetic field. There's a realm of conscious energy from which all of us are emanating from. It's a mystery. Who knows what the future will bring? But brothers and sisters, sincerely, truly, 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 let's all become a part of ending wars. I know there's ways to do it. What are you guys' thoughts?
Well, I believe that in terms of you know, hidden dangers, I guess, that we could perceive in terms of our knowing, I think that sincerity, as I said earlier, is a jewel of the heart. We have to be clear in our conscience, and also I think that we have to adjoin the vision that we see in our mind, with a clear view of what's happening in the world. So in terms of that, we have to become visionary. And they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the tongue is a reflection of the heart. So we also have to become clear in our speech, and we have to hold people to truth, the people around us to truth. And um and um and that is the ultimate act that we can bring about in sincerity. Now, in terms of knowledge, there's always a difference between what we want to know and what we can know. In other words, there's a difference between our imagination and our experience, and it's often the imagination of what when that's not aligned with what we are doing or what we experience, it's always going to be, we're going to have a lack of vision, you know.
I think so. If time's spent off in like fantasy or wanting things that are not within reach, creating self-creating suffering, and it's time wasted from growing. Is that what I understood you saying?
Yes, like between because I was going off of expectations, and seeing that there's just a I like to say there's a rift between imagination and experience. I think they're both one thing, but I feel that
Gotcha.
sometimes one being in balance, out of balance with the other, it is always a problem of our perception, and how
Yeah.
we see things, and that ties back to the difference between what we want to know and what we can know, and I think that we have
Yeah.
to really
Okay.
tie that together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's where I got paused, and sorry to interrupt you. Yes, that line between what we do know and what we can know. And then there's that other line of what we don't know. Right? I mean, there's these realms and layers and layers and layers of cognition, of thought. This life truly is a mystery, and the best way to play it is with a calm and clear mind. Hey, we've got another guest, a friend, I believe, a true friend. Welcome back, Linz. It's been a while.
Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody else. I liked your
No,
question. I
yeah,
liked your question about war because I decided to spin it around a little bit. And you said, how can we stop wars? I think. And so I kind of turned it around to wait a minute, what are the benefits of war? What are the utilities? Because there's got to be some or they would stop. And then I thought about, I already wrote it in the text, but how can there be a macro way of stopping wars when we can't even micromanage the wars going on in our own heads? So already I'm being negative because I'm saying we can't do this, we can't do that because such and such. I'm sure there's got to be a way, but throughout history, we haven't done it. There must be
yeah,
some utility. I know war is profitable. I know war is good for imperialism when you want the resources that another nation or place has. It's good for Darwinian processes of the fittest and the weakest, and it helps get rid of people when there's a competition for resources. Not that this is fantastic, but in a way, it could be seen as a positive thing.
right.
So what is most important in our society seems to be money. Money rules everything. So as long as the war machine is profitable, how is it going to stop?
That's
I know this is a very negative take.
Here's the
no,
thing.
it's realistic. Go ahead, Hank.
Yeah, money can't possibly rule everything because it is a technology. It's a tool we made up ourselves to make transactions more simple, so we don't have to barter with the exact person who has the thing we want directly. So money doesn't rule anything really. It's just a tool. It's just a distraction. Power, the actual what rules people. People rule people. People rule people, and they rule them with their clout or with their resources.
Money in and by itself does not mean anything. We are what gives it meaning, and we are what gives it life, and we are what make it real.
Lindsay. Yep, here. Both of you are correct. I mean, Lindsay said accurately that money has been given power, and behind every war is the economic, selfish, greedy money system. People
Mhm.
haven't wanted to accept it because, logically, money makes trade easy, and it's always been around, and there's nothing wrong with it. But hello. Here, back to the answer, though. Throughout history, things have been the way they were. If we learn from the patterns of history, we can overcome. Here, we've got another guest here, and I won't make him wait. Welcome, Stephen.
Hello, Jack. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Brother Stephen.
So if we actually look at the patterns of history and we truly learn from history, we can change the patterns. And I actually believe this is it's the logical, it's the perfect, unfolding of the progression of mankind based on the way things were. But the selfishness and the darkness, the beast, has been leading the world through corruption, manipulation, violence, oppression, through the illusion of budgets and authority. People are dying today. And this is what I want to communicate with the people in Congress. The spiritual prophets and such, they were right. The way to live purely is honestly and authentically. We should never enable lies. Yet, every corporation, every government, these corporations are taking over the governments, and the people's minds and hearts, their lives are being sold.
We're part of it.
We are a part of it until we confront it and change it. And that's what I chose for myself a long time ago. That's my purpose. And actually, I'm reaching out. I went to city council last night, followed up with explanations today. The solution is very, very simple. It doesn't have to be me or anyone in particular who gets it done, but wars can end, and when secrets are no longer legal, there will be fewer lies, less enemies. If secrets are no longer legal, the banking Ponzi scheme dissolves, and then the people in government really won't have any leg to stand on when they realize the whole dollar that they've been selling the nation out for is a lie. They'll do what they can to end the wars that they've been funding. I'm confident in that.
I'm stuck on something, and I genuinely want to know the answer. I learned an argumentation class in college, which I'm still not very good at. Anyway, the if and then statements are fallacious. And that's one that didn't quite stick with me that much. Hank's nodding his head, because I don't understand why if and then statements are necessarily cancel out your premise. Does anybody here remember why?
It doesn't. That's not factual.
That may be why it never processed.
Well, it's just that the if and then is a interesting logical operator because it means differently than and. Because if and then implies that one has to necessarily follow the other. So if you reverse the statement, it doesn't work. So if it's an and statement, you could put the two different parts of the statement. It doesn't matter which one you say first.
Can
it
you
works
rephrase
out either way.
In the way that it's illogical? Can you rephrase what he's?
It has a less veracity in terms of logic, because if you switch the statement, right? If,
no, I understand
then,
that.
Yeah.
I was trying to literally switch the statement backwards to understand that, because the beginning of what he said isn't necessary. It doesn't necessitate the second. So if we did this, then there would be no wars. And he said, if we stop being selfish, for one. So let's say we stay very, very selfish. We could still have peace. We could still end wars.
If
That's
there's
reversing
incentive
the
saying
state.
that,
That's why it is. That's why
yeah.
he said that it's not accurate.
Oh, okay. I understand what you mean.
Because
So
you don't need to be unselfish, or you don't need to be selfless to have peace.
oh, okay. You're disputing the causality, which is
Okay.
acceptable. So
All
you
right.
say, yeah, I understand what you
I'm
mean.
not trying to be right as much as I am
How
trying
about
to understand this. And
no, I
Well,
appreciate it.
no. It's just that you couldn't turn the statement the other way. See, if Jack says that if you end selfishness, then you will end wars. Then you couldn't put the wars before the selfishness. You couldn't say, well, if we've ended wars, then there's no longer selfishness. See, it wouldn't work that way. Get it right? So,
okay, yeah,
in other words, the inverse of the statement would not work the same way as the first statement he made, right? So that's why it has logically less veracity than for example, an and statement. Because if you said,
right,
you know, that if you end selfishness, and then wars will end too, right? So then you could say, well, if wars are gone, then there's no selfishness, right? Right? It would work that way, right? But
yeah.
it with an if then statement, it would not work that way, right?
Thanks for explaining that. Yeah,
Yes.
that
No
makes more
problem.
sense.
It's just a logical. It's just the way they use the logical operators.
That's if you're going to be real pedantic. But I don't think you need
Right.
to correct what you said. I was just analyzing it in a logical situation.
Right.
Hey, truly, if I can jump in here, because I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the, trying to understand. And Machine Lies, you've got like the mind of a professor, and you
Mhm.
share this with us freely, man. Thank you, brother.
Stop being so smart.
Huh? It's
He's
I said,
literally
stop being so smart.
a professor to escape academia. He's
He
just like
and
absolutely.
Sabina Hossenfelter. So that
I'm
makes sense.
I'm
I
truly
appreciate you
grateful
guys.
for it. And here I wanted to not to keep Stephen waiting, but I kind of wanted to jump back to that topic though. The way I view it, selfishness is what is behind the wars. The chase for profits is what has the banking system trying to, well, the chase for profits and control, the selfish, greedy nature has been codified into the man's laws. The governments and
Capitalism.
that's what it's called, but it feeds selfishness. Poverty doesn't have to exist. Wars don't have to exist. We could literally, Earth could become quite heavenly for everyone who lives here, including the animals. We don't have to abuse Mother Earth and exploit each other so that some fat cat hedge fund manager can take his family, on $1 million vacations. This is a bunch of absurd bullshit.
Well,
Budgets. What's that?
what's the opposite of that? Is it communism? Is it autocracy? Because that's not good either.
It starts with honesty, and honesty would not enable corporate executives and government officials to keep secrets. Honesty would not do that. And so with honesty, the wars could end. We could overcome this belief of enemies and recognize that every nation, every land, we are all neighbors here on this earth. We're all connected to each other at this time of history. Just because the wars haven't ended in the past, maybe it just means it wasn't yet time. Because the time we're living in right now, this information age, man, there is spiritual lessons and spiritual prophecy being shown through the days we're living. I'm pretty sure I've been saying this a long time. It's a suspicion of mine that that the Bible has been misunderstood and misinterpreted. I actually believe that any day now it will be the return of Christ, which is realized through all of us. Because there's many who are realizing it, many who are explaining it, many who are showing it, and many who are not. And we've got another guest here I would love to welcome fondly. Welcome, brother.
Get over it. Day after day. I'm up here to prove I'm going to be the shortest lived for the most truth that you're going to deny. And then if you want me and Machine Lies do a little exercise, we could just play our roles, and I could be like, what the fuck's in Mecca? And he'd be like, screw you, infidel. And if we were those people, we're never going to be able to sit and break bread. And then bring Tarek in, start telling me about all these different Talmuds I don't even want to touch. I'm like, you're right. I thought it was all in one book. Leave it to white people, but at least have it all in one book.
Well, history has been interesting, and today here we are.
But
I'm comfortable.
You're looping and boring.
Can you be joyful?
Yes, I'll be joyful for the season of discontent, where I put a lot of you in your place.
That's a very good one. Okay.
Two force tank.
So all we need is for the Machine Lies to print a version of Quran with the hadiths attached to it. That's fine. That should be easy to do. We'll make a lot of money.
It came from Leaves. But Hank, I'm tired of you like inserting yourself, because you go to every panel, dude, and you think that I'm here for you. And you're like the lowest form Negro right now.
Oh, really? How many panels are there, Tommy? How many panels are there? I go to every panel. How many are there?
All of them, yeah.
Okay, you don't have a number. So there you go. Fake news.
No, I don't need a number. The ones I go to, you're always there.
I go to some that you don't know exist.
I know. I wish you'd be there when I go to the ones I do know exist.
Hey, Tommy.
I could send you a list.
Here, sorry. Why would someone keep going back to a place they find a boring loop? What's
because the chat challenged me to, and you're not gonna do it as fast because I said I was starting a timer for how long I'd be up here, but you're also not on your regularly looping bullshit you're always wrong about. You get told every day, then the Men in Black flashy thingy.
No.
You're part of the loop, genius.
Yes.
Neuralizer? Come on, man.
Yes, Tom.
But I'm not.
You keep bringing back a loop.
See, I don't need to be told I'm part of a loop by the stupidest bitch that would come up here and ask you for information.
Show me different. Show me different today. Is that possible?
It's what you kick me for. I fucking hate you, Jack. I hate you too, Sandy Machine, but you don't trigger me. I'm going to trigger you more.
How about me? Do you hate me, Lumatami?
Yeah, you're a nigger. Yeah, you're not. You're not. No, I thought of a new word. Hold on. It was like not. It was like. It was something like nigger and autistic. I'll figure it out.
Tom, seriously. Hank, please. I know.
I'll remember.
I don't want to encourage him, and I don't want to enable him. So what do I do?
You can't encourage me. You'll never end war.
How do I get you to self-censor?
This is your problem. You used to come up here and say you're seeking truth, and you slowly merged it into everyone's got to follow Jack Bison.
That's not accurate.
M. Talcott?
That's not accurate. But
okay, how can you? Okay, then sleep on this. Sleep on this. You're never going to end wars, and none of us are trying to help you.
Why do you want to believe that?
Because you say you're a Christian.
Yeah.
You ready for the loop, Lindsay?
For example of a Christian.
Tommy,
let me not be negative. You could be a much better example of a Christian.
No, I wouldn't want to be saying that because you don't know your Bible. Now, Machine Lies is free to disagree with it. Hank is free to disagree with it. They don't bother me because they say they disagree with it. You sit up here day after day and say you're my people and speak the exact opposite.
Tom, many Christians.
And this is the loop, Lindsay. Start saying my name like you'd be screaming it out.
Many Christians have found echo chambers of.
And there's the first. Hey, chat. There's the first mute.
Yeah.
The son of his daddy.
I'm losing my patience with you, Tommy.
Your
You're not
patience is lost over truth.
No, my patience is lost
No,
through
you.
Okay, Jack, what do you think of this?
interruptions.
Okay,
Please.
Lindsay,
No, be
make
quiet.
him.
Shh. I don't listen to you.
I'm gonna
So,
let you mediate us, Lindsay. I think you'd be good at it. For a change.
Okay, I'm gonna do it before you tell me to.
Okay,
Here's-
don't let him just give a bullshit broad stroke answer. You too, machine or sanity machine. Yeah, both machines. We need
Will this
both
apply to
machines
you
to
as
be
well, Tom? Are you going to hold yourself to the same non-bullshit
It's
style
what
answer?
triggers you, bro.
I'm just
No,
asking.
he won't. No, he won't because he thinks
Yeah,
the
but
power
they
of God
have to
gives him an
take up for
excuse.
me.
He gives
They
give out
have to take. Hey,
Sandy's free
no,
card.
you don't do the narrative game very well, Hank. And you held your heating element too delusional for too long. Don't let him kick me in the back just for replying.
We'll kick you in the head instead, Tommy. How about that?
Dude, I got
Fair enough.
all this footage from
Okay,
just this
Tom.
past week where you're like,
Tom.
oh, there you are, just disagreeing.
How do I
Be right.
Here, please let Lindsay,
Go ahead, Lindsay.
please.
Write this down.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
How you handle a situation, or how I handle a situation, let me say, that's not working out. And this is not working out because it's counterintuitive to your purposes, Jack. And this is your stream. So when you keep getting the same behavior over and over again, means the person's not willing to change. Everything that survives has to change, at least every biological being. So what if you created a distance between this thing unwilling to change and yourself so that you could grow and survive? And that thing, until it's willing to change, can go somewhere else.
What are you talking about?
You and
No,
me.
I mean, let's label the things. Just go ahead and say what you're saying. You're all right.
You seem unwilling to change, Tommy.
You have blown up my email and my text relentlessly all week. I've tried to leave you alone. I have hit pieces coming on you. And a lot of
What was my intention for doing so?
I don't know. I stopped reading them because I said you're done. I'm the manager, nigga. You're done.
So you found
I got your daddy the most epic loops coming too. He's been saying he wants one. This one is the epic loop.
You said you're the manager. Do you know where you are right now?
I also said that this black man is not an employee or a shopper here. I want his pockets searched and escorted to the front.
Tommy,
here's your son.
Let's get back to the conversation, please.
Oh, he knows who he is. He's a spook.
God, I do look forward
He's
to
the one that is holding a sign up to his forehead that says spook.
And Tommy, it's with love. I'm going to send you to the back. Okay? And
I win.
How can you not love him? Right? How can you not love Tommy? He's so lovable.
I don't know how to not love Tommy. I don't know how.
I don't know how this isn't hilarious every time. It's like you couldn't even stay mad here. It's just too funny.
That's the idea. But
exactly.
These people keep returning, pretending to be so angry at me every day. And I'm like, how long does this have to go on? Hey, and let me be respectful. Steven joined quite a while ago. He's been patient. What are your thoughts, my friend? Let's bring you in if you're there.
Hank, stop it.
Hello, Jack and the panel. My thoughts on Tommy. He's quite a character, and we were discussing him last night, and I don't know if he. I don't know. I don't know. He said he's not straight, and he likes to date chicks with dicks and stuff like that. So I don't know what it is with Tommy. I'm trying to figure out what his deal is. He bounced at a gay bar. I don't know any straight guys that would do that. So I think Tommy might have some secrets, and I hope he gets right with Christ. I hope he gets right with Christ. I got a thumbs up for him right now. Get right with God, Tommy. Please, we're praying for you to kind of get stable.
It's going to happen. It's happening. I actually see a lot of people growing. I see a lot of people very resistant to growing as well.
Oh, he was
But
watching. Good for you,
what's
Tommy. Sorry, Jack, but I just noticed Tommy was watching me with Bex last night, and he was paying attention. So thank you, Tommy. Thanks for being one of my biggest fans. Thank you for lurking and watching. I appreciate you, Tommy.
Yeah.
isn't it
Yeah.
isn't it interesting how the haters watch everything you do?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It really is. They can't get enough. They just
Exactly.
can't get enough.
They're our biggest fans.
Yeah. I've noticed old Polly Boy has that reminded me, and I thought I'd look. It's not been restreamed for a while, so he's playing his games. It's funny. Oh wait, Tommy's back. Do we give him?
God.
Do we give him more chances?
Yes, please.
This time the
Yeah.
challenge is in this game we have the squares just like a game on TV or something.
I think he's ready to
guess
spurt. I can feel it. He's going to say something.
The object of the game is to piss Jack off, or that
That's the game he plays. Yeah,
Right.
let's see where
right.
it
So
goes.
we have these other people and other squares
Jack, you
too.
better show
The
your
winner!
daddy some respect. The
The
Lord
winner.
says honor your father, and you don't
Here we
call him
go.
old
We have
Polly
one.
boy.
Ding ding.
You
You
eat
never
pussy,
win,
Paul?
Lindsay. Lindsay, if
What?
you're feuding with your man's flow state, you're definitely not winning. But I
That's not
appreciate it.
for sure.
Get with
That's
Sherelle.
fine.
Get with Sherelle. She'll show you how to take all his stuff down. No, it's scary. If Snafu snaps,
Oh,
I thought
gets
you
his
had
hands on that information, a lot of our
You
channels are
love
going to be
Sherelle,
hurt.
don't you? We should talk about
What?
you. Your Sherelle's your girlfriend off and on, right?
Yes,
No,
please.
no. Shut that dude
Tommy.
up. See, here's
Tommy.
here's why I really hate you lately, Jack.
Wait,
You've
wait.
always told me
You've got a lot of
no
reasons.
talking about anyone that's not up here, and that's all you fucking do now, especially me. And you're
Yeah,
Yeah,
always
you're not up here right
wrong.
now.
you weren't just here. So, and hey,
Well,
Tommy,
they told
did you
me,
notice?
who was it? Lizard.
Tommy.
Lizard something told me to come up. Don't fucking Tommy me, faggot. I'll come to fucking Washington and knock your 5'8" ass out.
So you say,
He would love that. Do you want me at the
Well, I'd
Starbucks?
rather go to wherever the fuck
Here.
TBE is and
Hold
put
on.
some
Tommy, do you notice that you have a
in
lot of
his kneecap.
You notice you have a lot of love-hate relationships?
No, just hate.
Why?
You guys are all horrible people, and I'm going to show you
That's
that.
not true.
It is. You're just oblivious to it. Your family's gone. I don't like you. Nobody likes
Okay.
you.
Tom, what should I change today that would help your opinion change?
Anything. You have not many ways left to get worse.
So how do I
I would have
improve?
said, if I would have known you were going to pull this comfort in exchange for what little value you have left in the fiat, I would have said as soon as they wanted to buy that house, go get yourself a fucking studio apartment, Jack.
Tom, why do you keep looping back to engage with people you hate? That doesn't sound very fun.
Well, as a Christian, I'm supposed to either try to assist you or at least make sure people know you're a fucking jackass.
Ding ding.
All
Time's up. Thank you for your participation.
What?
You are
What? You
not
got to
a
take your
winner.
second pill?
That was a good time.
You are not a winner. You need sound effects. Buzz.
Hey, Tommy, do you want to meet Jack at the Starbucks? We're supposed to meet Margaret this Friday. I know you have his contact information. You could set that up. I'm sure he would love it.
Yeah. Actually, Tommy, come here to the house. I'll fix a pot of coffee. We'll shoot the shit.
You have endless rounds and chances.
Well, someone already, I don't remember who, people have been looking into me. The police have been to my address a number of times over the past few years. It wasn't always me.
All right, I'm going to completely change the subject, but I am going to
Please do.
challenge you to get that buzzer kind of sound going. You know that one? That would be good. It would be like Hollywood Squares kind of thing meets 2024. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to
have fun
interrupt.
with it. Yeah,
You
go ahead.
reminded me. I've got to bring Tommy back up.
It
Bring him back, yeah.
Welcome
You're
back,
gonna-
Tommy.
Talk about how gay Stephen is
So
again.
So Jack, to show you how oblivious you are, this community knows and appreciates that I don't need your little OTW AI games, and I appreciate God gave me a face that doesn't seem to work very well with it. I don't look like any of these people.
Works just fine with it.
This one's my favorite.
Well, where's the one with me stabbing you 30 times?
I like this one too. You look pretty.
I've got all. Well, you did say that about Brian. too.
Jack
I
is
think you might
winning
be a
today.
Oh, Goblin, make sure you catch a season of this content. I found that footage of you sitting back while your daddy dunks me over things you should have been standing on. You're a fool, and keep back in that old whore. Ian! Long time. That's a false alarm. I would trade. I would trade Hank for Ian right now. Like, Hank doesn't have that pause, like he'd say a quip and pause and just hold it at the camera with a finger kind of raised to the lower lip. I mean, Ian had his style, man. It's a shame he had to be.
Ian.
It's a shame he had to be as flaky and shallow as Talcott.
He's, for whatever reason, he seemed to find disagreements with me too. It's because I had faith in
all of
Paul.
us will. I don't hold that against him.
That's why you've got a problem with me, because I had faith in Paul.
Oh, that's just like starting the welcome mat of the tower of all the problems I have with you.
I know. Oh, wait, there. Tommy can be in the middle for the group hug.
Yep.
Yeah,
Welcome,
that doesn't happen. You guys don't touch me.
Good to see you, Jack.
You see, Hank, they don't respect people that don't like touched, and that's how they get fucked up.
Stop.
Yes.
Capping. He's capping.
Yeah, he's capping.
No, that's Goblin. You are also nobody because you have been thoroughly shown to have nothing.
Oh, I've been
on
doing
the foundation of that lying
excellent
whore.
in my life. You have no idea, brother. It's not me that's
Well,
failing.
whenever you ran on your show, you went to drunkenly restream the show.
I'll drink whenever I want to. I'm a grown man. I got my
Okay, forget the drinking. It doesn't matter whether you drink or not. You ran from the show I gave you and your whores to go restream because you can't have it back.
Well, while you're calling women out of their name, actually, I was waiting for your week to be up so I can address you.
You were up and you left, and then you're up and then you left. And you even tried to say that I was kicking you.
Tom, do you really think you help dialogue? I mean, do you allow
this isn't about help. This guy is standing on a delusion or a lie, whichever they want to admit to.
What can we do? What can we do to help you find more?
You can't do shit. You are too. Just a different.
Okay, there's others here. What can we do?
And actually, I can judge Goblin by what he doesn't hold to you, just like
you cannot judge anyone.
Because
you're
it's
an Orthodox
true.
Look, bro, you're a traditional Christian. You can't judge.
Right.
Don't tell me what I am. I can judge. We're supposed to judge.
No,
you're not a Christian.
Your
judgment. Oh, because you guys don't know your Bible, do you? You just always like to hold on to that tattoo verse.
Okay, give us a citation. Give us a citation, Tommy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Tom, you've become this angry character.
Oh, you don't want me to answer Hank? You don't want me to show him the truth of the Bible?
Give me a citation. Give me a verse. Chapter and verse.
Stop clapping, monkey. Now, I'm going to paraphrase this, but what those verses are saying is, judge not lest ye be judged, but you will be judged by the manner that you judge. And I'm down with that. I hold you all to what I hold myself to. And I don't lend you guys money like Jack giving Paul $300 to kick him in the teeth more. Oh, that's the one that got
Matthew
you
7:1.
emailing and texting at the same time. And I do have that imposter Muslims verses. I just haven't looked them up yet because I was rewatching it for a number of reasons, and I went ahead and wrote them down. But I know they're not. If they're just that number thing, I'm gonna be like, "Are you serious?"
Hey Tom, what about this one?
What do you mean? What about this one? For
That
what?
Bible verse. You cited Matthew 7:1. Jack cited
Oh,
Matthew
are you
5:8.
guys gonna do the flow state thing where you pompously feel better about
Yes.
yourselves because you
No.
don't
We're
put it
doing
to
a Bible
people like
study.
No, Tom, I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
No, I've tried that all
Not-
last week, and you kept doing your little strategeries.
We're here and now. No.
Yeah, we're here now. How many of us?
It's
7.
like 3, 7. Yeah. Good count.
Steven's been on his fat behavior. Machine Lives is always cool.
Matthew 5:8.
Are we not in next week?
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Right, and everything Steven's been up here to like strut his foghorn leghorn shape around about, I've already got all of the contradictions hot and ready like a little Caesar.
Do you have pure heart? Are you pure in heart?
Yes, I just am disgusted by you false
But where do you
I
see
can't
God?
wait. Can't wait.
Jack, you don't want to hear that. You've had private conversations with me where you said, brother, I feel like you truly are my brother in Christ. And you've thrown that all away, even for your daddy.
Tommy, I do care about you. So
listen, Steven, before he kicks me out, I'm going to support your whole. Hey, let me talk to your friend, Jack. He's your best friend, right?
You love my show? I know you do.
For you, right?
I know you do,
No,
Tommy.
Steven.
You love my show.
What is going on?
No, I did.
Tommy,
I like how
Tommy,
we cooked,
I'm straight.
and it was
Don't hit on
cooking.
me anymore. I'm straight. Don't hit on me, please.
I know that's.
You'll make his damn jealous, Tommy.
It'll get.
It won't be pretty.
I know you're gay. I know you're gay, but come on. Settle down.
Steven,
Settle down.
you're like all these people. You make the mistake of just
Keep your
leaning
distance.
into it when I tell you to. Like if I'm saying snafu, lean into it, you know he's fucking up. Steven, lean into it.
Tom, people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
But Steven, I appreciate you because here's the test, Steven. Here's the test, Steven.
I love
Here's
it.
the test. We have to see if Jack can cog this. How, like Steven, I know you're not a Christian and you don't want to be. When I show him our conversations as compatible disagreeers, his head won't explode. Nothing will change. That's how you know he's actually an imbecile. And I'm allowed to call you out because when I sicked you on him like a dog, I didn't mean you could come. I said you could come fuck with him. I didn't mean you could disrupt my progress with him.
Tommy, you don't scare me. No matter what you do, it just doesn't faze me.
Yeah, really. He's not intimidating. I'm gonna be
Not
honest.
at all. Not at all.
And
it's like this saying homophobic. It doesn't make any sense because no one's afraid of homos. No one.
Right. So here, I put Tommy in the back, and what he does from there is up to him. And I'm taking a liberty again, so please patience and please share care and understanding because we have another experimentation. One of the amazing characters God has brought into this experience. Welcome, Brother Snafu.
Did someone say my name?
Yeah.
The mucked up guy who let his dog suffer and die just want to call my name out? Let's remember, we all witnessed Tommy's dog die and suffer.
Let's stop.
We witnessed it.
All right. I'm not going to entertain that for long. How about this? Welcome, Tarek. How are you, brother?
I'm good. Could you hear me, Jack? Am I clear?
You sound good.
Was that like some Three Stooges sound effects or what? Can we hear it again?
The what now?
Sounds just fine.
Reminded
Welcome.
me of the old school stuff. That's all.
Did you join with thoughts,
the
brother?
Tommy kicked out?
He got put in the back for a
tell you
moment.
I got you. What Tommy was trying to say from my perspective, Jack, is what King Stephen's been doing with you lately, which is good. I think King Stephen is trying to show what is going on with the hypocrisy, for example, misleading, acting, for example. And what Tommy's saying is actually correct, kind of. But if you don't see it, Jack, maybe from your perspective, And maybe that's why you're not seeing it from Tommy's side. That's all I gotta say.
I understand a lot of the feedback, and I haven't talked to Steven about some of the things I've heard said, but I also haven't looked, and I don't really care.
It's really hard to see it from Tommy's side unless you're on meth, though. You can't be
No.
sober and see it from his side. It's kind of crazy the way he sees things. He's out there.
Sometimes, but I understand much of what Tommy says. And here, the reality, Tarek, and thank you, and Tommy, I guess, thank you. I kind of tuned him out, to be honest, because I hear a lot of deflection and irrelevant arguments being brought up. But there's been a lot of people, admittedly, Stephen, you're one of them. People have punished me because I enjoy you being here, or you're part of this. People have done the same thing because of my faith in Paul. People have judged me because I entertain Snafu too much, Tommy too much. Lots of people.
People have judged me because I keep giving Tommy chances on my show to keep coming on and yell and spurg. And I said, he doesn't always have Blair White's dick in his mouth. Sometimes he says a couple things that make sense. I mean, he does kind of like the chicks with dicks. But he said it on my show that he's really attracted to her. And somebody told me she does have a penis. She hasn't had bottom surgery. So, Tommy, I don't know. I don't relate to you on that stuff. I'm sorry, dude, but
then the confusion is why you would call that person a she then, right?
Because they say so. But I can explain Tommy's perspective. I can explain Tommy's perspective without being on meth. So basically, Tommy assumes that he talks to God and he's a mission with God, even though it seems to like us. That's from his ego. He thinks on the mission with God to slay all the demons, which is literally everyone who doesn't agree with everything he says, and he'll found his own imperial cult and transform it to Jesus and save the world by destroying it somehow. That's where Tommy comes from.
Tommy's making false accusations. I don't manipulate Noel whatsoever. Back that up.
Yes, you do. I'm going to show it. I've already
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
And you know what? The funniest thing you've ever said is like they call me
you're a liar.
A trust fund. I mean, it's true, but they call me that.
And Stephen, I haven't seen what Tommy said, but
did you leave the one with 5 feet up? Because that one's going to be a good one.
Suspicions aren't truth. It says not to gossip and do that in the Bible.
Okay.
So
are you talking about the 5-speed thing?
But people deny their what they've done.
Do you think you're not sitting up here gossiping about me sucking dicks on meth?
I've been very kind to Noelle, and she's likable, and that's it. I don't manipulate her.
We'll see if the community that you're part of agrees. You're in this community now. They'll let you know if you're manipulating Noelle.
Tommy's talking with a dick in his mouth again. That's all he can do.
I noticed. Here, Steve, maybe manipulation is the wrong word. Okay? Because that implies that there's malice, and I know there's not malice.
Noelle has her own mind. I haven't said her to do anything towards you or anyone else.
Well,
not at all.
Well, there was a day where you were offended by me, and the next thing I know, I believe you had Margot and Noelle with you. And
no, I've never had a conversation with Margot, not once.
All right, then I am. I
don't know her at all.
All right, I did misunderstand them.
Absolutely, you did.
Well, okay, thank you, Stephen. I mean, no offense, but I do know that.
I'm a man
series
of truth.
of events occurred, and Noelle went from being kind and sweet with me to sending me texts just being nasty, being rude.
Well, Tommy does that. Maybe Tommy's a bad influence. I don't know. Tommy sends you bad texts, I've heard, and is nasty. So maybe
he doesn't
Tommy.
encourage. No, I don't.
Well, I don't encourage anybody. I've never encouraged anybody to send nasty emails, texts, or anything.
I understand. But
Never.
her claims were similar to what I thought I heard you saying at time, and I may be wrong. And again, I'm not trying to argue, but I think I
Listen, I
understand
just want to
what's
say
being
something
said.
though, Jack. If I had done that, I would admit it right now. I'd say yes, I did that, but I'm a man of truth. I did not influence Noelle or manipulate her whatsoever. She has her own mind. She sees things the way that she sees things.
I know.
She might dislike you, and I might like you, so we might differ. She's her own person.
Yeah,
I
no,
understand.
Noah just has that spirit of Eris in her. She just wants to be tamed. So I need to get to work.
Well, somewhere in the recent past, and again, it was around the time that she was associated with you, she got the idea that what I'm doing here is not
She's never
real.
been associated with me. She's come on my show a couple times.
That's what I'm referring to.
Okay,
where
that's
you
all.
where you spent time together. Okay, and it's just perspective. This is just what I saw. So, but she went from being whatever she is, kind and sweet, to she's convinced that this is not real, that I'm just doing a show, and that I'm just trying to deceive people, and that I'm a liar.
Well, she said on my show that Jack is just a show, and I never had said that you were just an actor or putting on a show. And I said, "Do you think so?" She came up with that on her own, in my own chat room, said, Noelle sees it the way that she sees it. I mean, some agreed, some disagreed. That's the way it goes. It's the way it goes over here. There's people saying stupid shit about me in the chat. I'm not crying about it. I'm just saying they can think what they want. But when in terms of manipulating, I don't manipulate anybody.
Appreciate that. Hey, and here, welcome back, Tarek and Tommy.
Sorry, I got cut off, Jack.
So,
am I back?
Yes, you are back.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He left.
I gotta get out of here.
Peace. Thank you.
I made Goblin leave. I made
Let's connect
Goblin
when
leave.
you can, Goblin.
And I'm controlling Tarek as a puppet right now, of course.
Oh yeah.
Tarek, say what I want you to say. Say what I
You're
want.
puppets too. Excellent.
No problem.
I'm controlling Shock like a
No
puppet.
problem, Stephen.
Praise me. Praise
You
me,
got it.
Tarek. Praise me.
Praise
Do
King
what Master
Stephen.
Steven
Praise King
says,
Stephen.
please.
Yes. And Hank.
I said
He's my
praise
house
King
Negro.
Stephen.
Yeah, I need
What
more
he's
money,
doing,
bud.
you guys don't understand what he's doing. You guys don't understand what he's doing. I think he's showing something live so people can see, intelligence and see also what's happening with brainwashing, deception, and all that. And at the same time, doesn't mean anything bad at all. And Jack is also correlating with it, kind of back and forth, as long as he doesn't get a little angry, which is fine. And we'll go from there. That's about it. We're all here in good faith and peace. And that's about it. But Hank, 1 second. I want to say one thing off the subject. Flow State, I don't owe you the 100 yet. You loser. You have not won the bet yet, Flow State. But just to let you know, I gave the 100 to Lindsay, okay? So she can go shop with it, do whatever she wants. When you win the bet, maybe she'll give it to you.
She needs tampons.
No problem. Whatever she wants to use, shop, tampons,
A lot of
hairstyle, whatever.
A lot of tampons. Some new panties. Period panties.
So, Tarek, we understand King Steven's game, me and Machine Lives, because we play it ourselves. We haven't been playing as long as Steven has, but we play the same game, so we understand it.
Yeah, we're on to you guys.
I'm playing the long game of truth and being on God's side. I'm against devils. I'm against evil liars, and I think Tommy's been lying about a lot of people, and so have some others in the panel verse. And I think it's time for the lies to end.
I'm at the corner of Eternity Drive and Infinity Lane. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said Machine lies that you shaved your beard and it grew back the next day. I'm not sure that's completely true.
There's his mustache.
There's a lot of rumors and exaggeration going on in the panel verse. So.
Yeah, what else is new, King Steven?
That's the way it goes.
Thanks for that, Tarek.
Jack,
I really appreciate it. It's expensive to get your hair done.
Yeah. Because yesterday I went on Flow for a second. He was talking about something at night that was actually very, knowledgeable. And then as soon as I got on, he's like, "Do you have my 100?" I said, "No." He just kicked me out. So here you go, Flow State. Fuck yourself. Lindsay has the 100. She's gonna go shopping with it, do whatever she wants with it.
Are you sure you're on Flow State?
Well, not
channel?
him. No.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right. No, he's bright in some venues. I would give him that. Okay, he's not stupid.
In
But
scheming,
in that subject,
I would say scheming.
Yeah,
He was stupid on
Yeah, I agree.
Nachi's room the other day.
So where's Jack's
Yeah,
100?
yeah.
He
Tarek?
got pretty pounded.
I'm not here trying to. I'm not trying here like to hate on Flow State or anything like that. We all have some issues, regardless. We all are working on things, and I just want to say, what I have to say, and that's it. Jack, it's all you.
I said somebody Dreamcatcher said, "Why did Steven porn bomb Tommy's channel?" I've never porn bombed anybody. That's a new rumor, a new lie. This is what people do. This is the dumb, petty, stupid shit that I'm against in the whole Panaverse. It's retarded.
We already know the porn bomb was a false flag. Tommy did
I've never
to himself.
done that to anybody.
Yeah, Tommy did to himself. It was a false flag.
There you go.
Let's let Jack talk. Let's take it back to Jack.
Yeah,
Jack, how are you? You seem
Tarek,
today.
where's Jack's 100? Tarek, where's Jack's 100?
Jack can get. Jack doesn't need a bet. He doesn't bet. He's a Christ being, and people that are religious don't bet.
I've wondered that. I've actually bet a lot. I stopped gambling money. Here, I stopped gambling money, but I gambled my life. I've risked my reputation, my family, my career, my life savings. I've risked my safety. I've risked it all.
And come back, Jack. It can all come back. But I'm talking about gambling because I had a gambling. Yeah, I had a gambling issue when I was younger, and I signed myself out of the casino and I won like $157,000. No, I won $157,000, and then like in 4 days, I said I was going to put just on the side and gamble 57. In 3 days, I lost it all. So yeah, I signed myself out. No gambling. I'm talking about 23 or 24.
You got to listen to the Kenny Rogers song, Tarek. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away,
well, King Stephen,
know when to run.
I was only like 24, 25, so I was stupid.
Kenny Rogers knows. Listen to Kenny. Listen to Kenny. The
There's that lizard person.
I want to listen to Jack.
Was talking about.
The gambler,
lizard
Kenny
tree.
Rogers.
Anyway,
listen to Jack. How's your day? Today? Yes.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Should have walked away, man. You got to walk away and give the money to God.
What was that, Lindsay?
Yeah.
I said, you guys want to get serious again, or I mean, we could laugh. I mean, where are we going?
Please. I don't know. Hey, here.
What's the subject?
Thank you. The topic today is finding comfort with joy. And really the underlying message is, well, that's the goal. If you can find joy, you can find comfort in yourself wherever you are, even when things are dark, even when things are uncertain. If you can detach from the darkness and the uncertainty, you can reward yourself with a little appreciation, a little joy, and moments of comfort. But there's times where life gets uncomfortable. And if we can, and that is actually the best way to grow. If you can get comfortable pushing your comfort zone, expanding your comfort zone. You know, we learn life through trial and error. And where I'm at now, I've surrendered to God, so I really don't care that much about me. I mean, I do, but I don't.
That's
I just,
great. No,
I
that's
love
great.
It's really the way we're supposed to live, freely, without worry, with love. And that means finding a way to be joyful even when we're attacked. And
I
that's
think during the process of expanding your comfort zones, doing things contrary to how you naturally would do them, it feels actually not happy and not joyful. It's it's painful somewhat. You have to take some risks, and that's painful, scary, whatever adjectives you want to put to it. But eventually you're happier afterwards that you've actually done that. And I was going to relate this to something else, but I don't want to cut you off. It's related, but I don't want to cut you off.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, for some reason I've been noticing everywhere on all panels, people making, and I just did it, people statements. For example, people suck, people are stupid. People always say funny things when I'm trying to be serious. People this, people that, people whatever. It's we all do it. And then I thought about a challenge. If you're going to be joyful, why don't you apply the adjectives that you throw on other people and examine yourself in those terms? So say you say people are stupid. Well, you can always point the finger back and count a million stupid things that you did. That's not fun, but discovery is fun.
And it's honest.
And then you're not so busy and worried, like I usually am, about what other people are doing or what other adjectives or labels are assigned to them. And you can start thinking about yourself and thinking less about other people, dropping the anger or the bitterness or the, that's actually not fun when you say people are this, people are that, people are stubborn, people are dicks. I mean, whatever you want to, whatever we all say all the time. Mm-hmm. I hear people are stupid a lot, hell of a lot.
So I don't say that. I name individual beings. I don't say people and group everyone in. I name
well,
names.
You called me stupid, so let's turn it around and say, well, how could you be stupid?
Yeah, well, I don't say people as a group. I don't say people. I name names is what I'm saying. I'll say Lindsay's a slut or Tommy's a fag or something like that. I don't group in everyone and say, quote, people are stupid. People's a group. People's not an individual.
Okay, then how about so maybe you challenge yourself and every time you make an accusation?
People's a group. Maybe you laugh at shit and maybe you stand with evil. Maybe I see what you are. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Maybe you are.
I'm a multifaceted person, as are you. And I've seen both in YouTube.
Yeah, I want to interject. Please. So with the insults and attacks loud my way, I get excited for them. I get excited as Frieza from Dragon Ball Z Abridged for new insults and attacks aimed at me. I get excited when a new insult drops.
Hank, you cry over something somebody said 6 months ago.
No, I don't remember.
You can't even throw out a fun and creative suggestion that you turned around,
Lindsay,
and then people will disagree with it, put it down.
Steven, go ahead.
Steven, I'm not even mad at you. I'm just trying to talk.
You don't have to talk.
I mean, you could take all these things that we do.
Why bring it up?
Steven,
why not?
Can you just yield and pretend like you're not under attack?
Sure.
Can we have a conversation where you're not interrupting and maybe allowing other people to participate?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
Thank you, Steven.
Brother Steven.
Well, I think I understood what Lindsay was saying. And Steven, you just immediately went to a bunch of ad hominem attacks of Lindsay, of what revealing your insulting character. And I know you're better than that.
He has both sides, and when he's funny, he's really funny. But when he can be, let's go back to the people can be such a dick. Let me personalize it. Steven can be such a dick sometimes. But
great.
Yeah.
Thanks for personalizing.
I can look at the positives.
That's me.
Yeah, it's me too.
And Lindsay, I'll personalize it. Lindsay can be such a bitch sometimes.
Absolutely.
But Jack doesn't like to hear that, but it's true.
Here, the thing is if you're going to focus on that aspect, guess what you're going to do?
No.
Well, I'm witnessing you treating Lindsay as a bitch, which is what you just said. So you got to realize what you think and what you say matters.
Exactly. Just like when Tommy comes up and calls Hank the N-word and calls people names.
I realize that, but I was addressing you, Steven.
That's great.
All I'm saying is that there are creative ways.
I'm the only one you hold accountable here, Jack.
That's not accurate.
That is
maybe
accurate.
I have higher standards for you. Maybe because of what you've presented,
I'm at a higher standard then. True. I agree with that.
Okay, so what prevents you from just cooperating? No one's trying to hurt you. We're trying to offer you, hey,
I'm not trying to hurt Lindsay. Why bring up what was said 6 months ago?
Because it's not appropriate, and you're still defending it, and you're still repeating the behavior.
I'm
Stephen.
in the present. I'm not looking at the past here. I'm in the present.
Yes,
moment.
and in the present, you were very insulting and disrespectful here on this panel towards Lindsay. And yes, maybe I am holding you to a different standard. Maybe it's because I feel like I can communicate with you. So please don't be offended that I might be trying to hold you to a higher standard today.
No, I'm thanking you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Well, Stephen, you'll be proud to know, as an aside, that I quit posting hoe pictures. So, see, this is just my face. It's PG. I've made a change, and I've grown.
Oh, excellent.
Boo!
Yeah,
Boo! I'm protesting that.
No more ass and titties. Thank you. No more hoe pictures.
Boo!
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm proud of you.
I respect myself better because of that.
That's actually good. I am proud of you. That's a
Thank you.
Step in the right direction.
You're only saying that because you have a harem already. You get that still.
Hey, I also want to recognize the good. I know you went through a lot of flack, but you did. You pressed out. You pushed yourself into where I believe you weren't comfortable. You explored. Maybe you don't do that again. Maybe you do it different. But whatever, right?
I'm actually not a hoe, and I know it. But as far as other people are concerned, I am, because I projected that. So I understand.
There were rumors that I asked her, or that I wanted her in my harem, or asked her for whole naked pics.
No.
I did not ask her for any naked pics. I didn't ask
And I did. And I did.
Oh, you did, Hank?
Yeah,
You
absolutely. Did? Yes.
Anyway, I was just trying to get to the idea and off the subject again.
I couldn't find him. Maybe I missed the email, but I couldn't find him. So resend it, please.
You better check your email again.
I sent them to one person here on the whole internets, but I learned my lesson. The whole internets, plural.
Just Flow State? No one else?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hank, you didn't get any. You got rejected.
Yep, that's normal.
I didn't think it was a big deal, but I could see that it was a big deal through other people's eyes, and they were misinterpreting who I am and my message. So I stopped it because I didn't want that reputation. And I do have a brain. It's not as big as TML's, but I've got a brain. I've got other things to other assets that aren't physical. Anyway, so.
Hey, yeah. Not to continue where you were, but I respect your mind, Lindsay. You do have a beautiful perspective, and you ask questions that are pretty probing sometimes. And we're all growing this life together. And hey, I guess like Beetlejuice, we got a guest. Welcome, Flow State.
What's going on?
He was lurking.
No, how you doing today?
Hey, same shit, new day.
Are you looping?
Am I looping? I don't believe so.
Is your life a loop? Same shit every day?
In some aspects, it is. In some aspects, it's always brand new.
I like that new part. That's what I keep looking
And a little bit of loop isn't always a bad thing. It's familiarity.
Yep. There's comfort in familiarity. But in my past, I didn't realize it until it was gone. I was awful attached to familiarity. And that every day is something new. I was thinking about this earlier. Since 2018, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to keep the lights on or keep the shelter and the food and the fuel. Got no clue. I also don't know how I'm going to end wars, but I figure why not? What else am I going to do? Hey, sincerely, I don't know if anyone saw it. Does anyone care to see my visit to City Council last night? Nothing has come of it yet, so really it doesn't matter.
I'm game.
Go ahead, play it.
Let's see it.
Goblin wrote you a message too. I guess he wanted to say some things, but he never got to.
Oh, did he?
In the back
Thank
chat.
you. Yes, thank you. Here, do this. So this was last night, just a few moments. I'll do this. This was like a couple hour and a half in maybe, and most of the conversations were about the budgets and law enforcement and crime in the community and how to deal with that sort of thing. So
It's that, and after that, we'll have Sheriff Burnett.
good evening, Council President, Council members. Jack Talcott, longtime resident of Spokane. And as I'm sitting here listening, I'm grateful for you guys. Dealing with the budget, dealing with the chaos and the violence and the problems of the city. Thank you. Not something that I even want to deal with, but what I do want to deal with, my faith and inspiration is what brought me here today, because the reality is budget and violence, not just a Spokane problem. It's a nation problem, it's a world problem, and we are all united together at this time in history. So there's a lot of things happening in Spokane. There's a lot of things happening in the world. And I'm a man here in Spokane who's online 7 days a week trying to find support. And then I thought about it. My goal is to find a way to speak to people in Congress. It feels pretty important to a lot of people that maybe war should be ended and maybe the criminal banking systems could be addressed. And I realized all of you people here in Spokane, by your positions alone, you got connections and relationships that I don't. So is there a way to have more of a conversation about this idea, to get scheduled something with a group of you? Is it possible to get something scheduled for more conversations like this?
Let's discuss it afterwards. There's opportunity for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jack.
And that's about it. Very brief. Like I said, she did follow up and got my contact info afterwards, but here, oops, doggone it. Who knows? Hey, thank you, Jeeps. I don't know where any of this is going to bring.
Am I wrong?
Nice work, Jack.
Good job, Jack. But did you mention the slogan "Live without fear," or did I miss it?
No.
No point today. Just want to get the context.
I not trying to promote the brand, not trying to promote me as a man. I'm trying to get people to cooperate with getting these ideas. It's time to end wars. Oops, where'd Flo go? And here, we've got someone in the back. I'm going to take a chance here.
Put up the banner.
That's what I was looking for. I'm looking for a fun one. Go with that. Talcott, YouTube sheriff.
What the fuck am I doing in there?
You're a bankster, Flo State. Of course you're in there. You're a bankster.
I'm back in the cage again.
You and Paulie, man. Hey, appropriate for Jack. You want to introduce yourself, say hi, what's going on? Show yourself. Looking.
Turn your camera on or something? So that you have video at least?
I'm going to assume they're not there, and we'll just take
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
There you
Better
go.
luck next day.
That overlay is hilarious.
I've had some of these for a while, and I keep forgetting all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
What about the picture at the very beginning where it has you laying in Paul's arms and Paul is a couch? Look at that one.
Maybe they were
Well,
looking for nude pics.
It's not necessarily him, but it is a big old gorilla. And
Oh, I thought that was because he calls himself the gorilla, right?
Yeah. And so I thought it was a
gorilla.
Yeah, it feels pretty appropriate. I sit with comfort and joy upon the white gorilla with a big old Fucking
I took it another way, like he's got you in his pockets.
That's probably how he'd take it, I'm sure.
I think it just reveals both y'all's closeted homosexuality.
It's possible, but I'm not feeling that. Not in the slightest.
You're over him?
Well, there was never really any sexual tension from my end. That was a non-issue.
Well, that's Tommy's daddy.
Not
That's
a
Tommy's
tiny
daddy.
bit. There wasn't a tiny bit of sexual tension.
No. I prefer, well, obviously, I've said it, but women, and I prefer small and petite, and Paul is not.
Yeah, you'd be the petite one in that situation, wouldn't you?
Have you ever seen a skinny gorilla? Come on.
Right.
Yes. So Flow State, we can't take shots at Pussy Paul because Tommy always called dibs, so we had to be respectful.
No, we don't.
That's true, we don't, but I'm going to be respectful. Tommy called dibs. You got Pussy Paul, Tommy.
Here we go. Sorry.
Brother Stephen, are we okay?
Yeah, sure, sister Lindsay. I don't hang on to grudges. I'm a forgive and forget.
Nice.
You know, I saw something. I've shared the reminder with others who want to be. There's some real clowns. You know, I'm sorry. Before I get to that, I look forward to the future because I have so much evidence that people have no clue what I'm dealing with each day. No clue. Some of the fucking monkeys and nonsense, the arrogant fools that want to think they're funny. There's not a huge number of them, but the ones who are antagonistic, oh man, I look forward to the future, and I'll be revealing all sorts of shit on some of these people. Maybe not. We'll see. But where I was going with that is it really is part of our maturity, our growth, our self-development. It's up to all of us to grow in doing a better job of taking responsibility and becoming accountable for what we say. Because what we say, what we do, it may be forgiven, but it's not really forgotten. Damage happens by things we do and we say, and if we don't deal with the damages, we're in denial. And that's why the world is the way that it is, with bankers funding governments, which are paying people's children to go to war.
Amen. I can get behind that. I look forward to the future for many ways. I just want to say this. And one of the ways is, I mean, it's a smaller way just on YouTube. I look forward to the future being better overall for everyone in this world. But I look forward to the immediate future on YouTube when Tommy's channel comes back because I want to see the content that he makes about me. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, me too. I would love to see it. And content Based Oracle makes about me too.
Oh, Based Oracle?
It's
Oh,
brother
there.
based.
Hey, brother Based.
Yes, welcome.
Lovely to see you.
It is lovely to see me.
You make
And you as well,
content
Lindsay.
about Hank? You make content about Hank Oflamio?
I am
Yeah.
the content, but like I'm over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I've been clout chasing Hank for a while. To no avail so far, but I'm working on it.
Did you challenge me to a debate yet?
Vengeance.
That usually gets me.
That reminded me, I have not made enough Hank content. I think I need to get some of that clout too.
I'm sure you've got plenty, man.
Hank laughed out loud quite a few times today and cracked me up.
Hank's face when I arrived here was probably like I'm probably gonna go back and have to screenshot that right now. He was so excited for a little more chaos.
He gets excited over you, I think. Hank, you get excited over
And you're
stuff.
ruining it, Flow State. You're ruining it with your gangster BS.
The moment has already come. It was amazing, and it's gone. I can't ruin the past.
You know, I think Hank has black privilege in the panel verse. I think he's got a little, because he's not that. There's not that many black guys or black women on these panels.
Well,
Hank has
I am
black
here
privilege.
now. So
You
We
what?
forgot.
I'm here now. Well, you
Oh,
said
you're
there's not that many.
He means black magician.
Black what?
You're not black.
Yes.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but was I not called a beautiful black man on your stream flow?
A whole ass black man.
Whole ass. Yes, thank you. And it was accurate, although 4.4 I wouldn't call full, but yeah.
Was she dyslexic and missed, asshole, or did you just say it that way on purpose? A whole ass?
Whole ass, beautiful black man.
Great compliment.
Yeah.
I
And
can
accurate.
identify with that.
As opposed to a half-ass?
Ass jokes.
I want to come back to the observation of someone finding glee in the chaos and joy. There's actually a lot of people, if you watch the eyes, behind the anger, you'll see some joy and excitement in the anger. I used to love getting angry. It was my favorite pastime. But it feels much better to have joy. And we have joy when we feel comfortable. And we feel comfortable when we give up the fights.
Wait,
You're
Jack,
still
you
angry.
don't love getting angry anymore? It doesn't feel good to you to get angry when that angry Jack comes out and you're just on the verge of biting someone's head off? You don't feel good? There's no good feeling anymore?
No, I've got high standards for myself. I'm working on my patience, my acceptance, my ability to communicate. And when I don't succeed at that, it's frustrating. But I've been learning how to surrender and grow in faith. The time is coming. I'm improving my ability to communicate. I'm growing in my understandings of what I know. And the reality is, this whole human experience, the God that people have been fighting for and against all this time, it's easier to understand than we think. The key is to stop thinking, to drop the value of thought. Seriously, it's the idea of what they call it, the Tao, the way. It's the idea. What's that?
I don't want to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
It's funny that you should mention that after talking about anger, because I kind of got this feeling of retribution, or people will get what they deserve, that kind of thing. Is that just in my head, or is part of you thinking, you know what, all those people who did me wrong, they're going to get it?
I think that's mean, though. That's kind of vengeful. What do you think?
I didn't know if he's thinking that, so I asked.
You think that's holy? Yeah, I know. I'm wondering too.
I think it's natural.
Brother Jack, what do you think?
It's a habit we want to break. While it is true, there's what I've learned to trust. Hey, let me go back to the thank you for the gift, just a me. And congratulations, Salty Siren. You've been around for a while with me. Haven't quite come around, but welcome to the members. The question.
Never that. Surprised.
There's
I
what
like
I've come to.
Siren.
Funny. What I've come to realize is I trust in karma. Karma is the reaction. That's what life is, where the reaction of the past karma brings us into being, and through our life we're dealing with patterns from our past and spiritual pasts and all these different. I don't know exactly how it all works, but I've heard a lot of theories and stuff. The main idea is, if you can have faith in God, and if you're a believer of Jesus, you call yourself a Christian, then you can accept that love is the answer. And with love, if you can consider that God loves us as children, the way we want to be is authentic and honest, like Jesus, right? Willing to serve and be truthful, loving, kind. And if God loves us, what does a loving parent want for their children? They want them to be happy.
The best.
They want them to be happy.
I think this idea of karma is absolutely negative, and I think it's BS. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, because you just used it like, you believe in it. I think it's like a coping mechanism instead. Just like saying the devil made me do it, when you're a kid or something. I didn't do it. The devil made me do it. I think people have so much. Here I go with the people overall statement. So I'll just own it, because I said so before that the people statements, put them back on yourself. I was going to say people have so much bitterness, regret, anger, and yes, I do, that they need somewhere to put it. And thinking about the idea of karma, well, they'll get theirs, they'll deserve it. I could let this anger and bitterness go now, because they're going to get it, right? God, when Jesus comes back to save the world, or when Armageddon comes, or when we die, it's almost an evil thing to wish for.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I did a poor job of pointing out what I wanted. Yes, the rules of karma can be used to the darkness, right? And everyone does have some of that darkness within them that they got to find a place for it. Karma works for good too.
If it exists.
There's orders. There is logical and demonstrable. There's proven orders to the way that nature works, the way our minds work, the way our bodies work. The order of the universe. It is a proven strategy. Success and inner peace and freedom and healing, it's in the mind, between the mind and the heart. It's all within. If we don't heal ourselves and become whole within, we're running around fractured, finding enemies, finding reasons to defend or attack. And that's the worldly way. We don't want to live that way.
You almost have to.
What I've learned is, yes, we have to live as who we are, where we are each day. So the way I've been healing myself, dealing with the attacks and all the craziness, is I remind myself, I'm revealing my character. They are revealing theirs, right? We're all developing and showing our own characters. The character I've chosen for myself, and I don't give a damn about opinions. I care about what's true. The image I've chosen for myself is to be honest and to grow, to overcome my anger and to grow in my, my ability to walk with Christ.
I'm gonna leave you with this. We had Flow State and Lindsay on the same panel for like an hour, and we haven't broken up into a rage or fighting, so peace can break out.
That's great. That's great to see. I applaud both of them. They're seething beneath, but they're holding it in. They're keeping it all in.
It's a new day. It's a new day, and every day offers an opportunity to be a new start.
I really want to know something, Jack. How do you contain your anger? Like, how do you work on it? How do you dissipate it? How do you, what's your way of doing that, dealing with it?
I don't find much anger anymore. In the past, what I would do, though, what I found to be healthy is to allow it. All of our emotions. We don't want to stifle or distract ourselves from the emotions. We want to deal with the emotions, so we're honest with ourselves, showing respect and compassion that, okay, well, Jack, you were just accused of a criminal. All right, Jack, well, it looks like you're not going to get time with your son. All right, looks like your career's gone.
Kind of hard to laugh at that after a while.
Well, you get practice. You learn to laugh and you feel better. That was one thing. I heard it from others and I started practicing, and I used to have to force myself. Oh, I was so angry at the world, and I'd try and be fucking laughing at me. Made me sick. But eventually Laughter does help us heal. And if you take yourself too seriously, you'll be afraid to be wrong. If we're afraid to be wrong, we're never going to learn more. So life, we have, here in America especially, the world has developed into this entertainment lifestyle. Entertainment and service, that's what everyone's chasing. And immediate gratification. It's literally, it's insane.
It's nuts.
Anything is a respite from the anger and bitterness that is probably just skin deep in most people.
Yes, it is.
Not in most. Come on. I don't know.
Except for you.
Unhealed trauma, fears and insecurities, those will turn into depression or anger. And the depression and anger can end up in real self-sabotaging behaviors like addiction and crime and abuse.
One of the things that I admire about men, I'm going to try to talk less after I realize I'm kind of commandeering this, so I recognize that. One of the things I like and admire about men is their ability to, they have these emotions, they're normal just like everybody else, but they know how to set them aside or compartmentalize them until they can take it out in a good way usually. Some don't, that's over whatever, but overgeneralization. It's been pointed out to me many, many times that women aren't good at this. I actually think some women are. I think they are, but overall it would be something to work on. And I want to learn how to sit there with my feelings of discomfort or anger or bitterness and not spurt out and not just impetuously say, F you, a-hole, and become this ugly person or let that ugly side out and just wait another, 2 minutes or something.
And bake. Maybe bake some cupcakes or something and take your mind off your feelings the way women in the 50s did.
Interesting anecdote to kind of tap into what Lindsay was just talking about.
Yeah.
So many years, the further back in time you go, the less emotional control that I had. Right? 10 years ago, a little more than that, I was just, for instance, I know everyone on panel here has heard this part, but I was in the Marine Corps, which was a difficult time to say the least. And while deploying, I also had some, I would say, pretty dire personal circumstances happening outside the Marine Corps, which was making it even more difficult in times of high stress as it was. We were pushed to purposely, I believe, levels of high stress to prepare ourselves for those high stress situations which we couldn't control, right? Things outside of our control. So anyways, as time has gone on, I believe, I suppose I can't speak objectively, although my friends probably would be a better source of that, is that I've tapped into more and more emotional control. As Lindsay's saying, well, she was referring to men, but I feel emotions, right? Everyone feels emotions, as far as I know. Meanwhile, I don't think anyone on YouTube has ever seen me emotional. Not to say that, well, let me put it like this. Let me rephrase that. No one has seen me outside of my control of my emotions. If I'm getting loud or seemingly angry, it's purposely so. I'm very well aware of what I'm doing, how I'm acting, my tone, etc. Now, some people don't like that, and I don't give a fuck. But meanwhile, the most important thing for individuals is for the individual to be in control of themselves. Because really, that's the only thing that you can control. All of these outside forces, there's very little you can do to impact them, let alone control them.
You never get triggered then online on these panels based? You never get triggered emotionally over anything?
I'm familiar with the term triggering, but just to dig into it a little bit, how would you define it? Where do you think the line is for being
I don't know.
triggered or
You
not?
seemed angry one time talking with me, and I thought you were going to shed a little tear or something. I thought you were getting a little bit emotional, but maybe I was misreading the situation since you're new to
That
me.
could be.
But
Here, can I actually, the emotional maturity, the emotional intelligence, this online realm, the nonsense you deal with, I've grown. But when I first came online, no, I can't say the same thing about myself,
you were
based because,
spurging like crazy, weren't you,
oh
Jack?
man, I was triggered like a motherfucker 3 times. But that's one of the things I truly admired about Flow State, Machine Lies, and others, is their ability to stay pretty stoic even in the chaos. And that's one of the things I noticed about you too. Your ability to communicate and to stay calm so your mind is working. That's something we got to practice.
I'm trying to teach him.
Flo's working on it, one egg at a time.
Well,
so I think the answer is making it through overcoming more trauma, right? Because everyone has trauma, but not everyone overcomes their trauma, their adversities. And the more that you do that, the less I find you would be impacted by what somebody says or apparently thinks, etc.
Agree.
Well, there's many here, those emotions. I want to come back to something Lindsay said too. I think part of developing emotional intelligence, and you guys tell me if your experience is different, it's to be learning how to understand the emotions, not to let those feelings take over, but to recognize, oh, I'm getting pissed. What's the reason of this? What's going on here? And sometimes, I mean, we're kind of like children. If we can't articulate our feelings and our thoughts, that's when we throw temper tantrums. I've seen myself doing it. So it takes the intelligence and the will, the self-control to stay, to pause, to breathe. And what I found in dealing with not just processing current emotions, but old emotions too, is accept them. Allow them to be processed, but remind yourself, you have the power. We all have the power to limit our anger, limit our sadness. You know, how long we spend with the feelings is kind of up to us, unless we don't pay attention.
Yeah, I like what you said there, brother Jack. It's also about as I think you're expressing about having a undivided heart, so that when you approach others, it's already settled how you're going to engage with them, so you have full acceptance of them, whether or not it turns out to be a good or bad engagement. That way, a lot of having a undivided heart comes with courage, and that comes with the stoic temperament, because courage and faith and really just facing people. And you'll notice that tendency among soldiers. Maybe I could ask Base Oracle about that they could sort of break each other down but still have respect for each other. You know what I mean? So whatever they face, whether they face each other's breaking point, they could still have respect for who and what they are, and what the ultimate goal is, right?
Yes. Hey guys, I don't mean to throw a wrench when we're having. I feel these have been great conversations, but a little over 2 hours. I'm feeling like this may be good for today. Thoughts before we wrap up? Finding comfort with joy or on anything else?
Well, I'll just go ahead and say that's stupid. You're not complete. You're wrong. The stream shouldn't end. Also, Tarek is a fag. I
What
feel
about
like there's
Tommy?
probably more things, but that's just all that's coming to mind right now.
What about Tommy? Tommy was here today too.
I didn't pay much attention to Tommy.
Are you asking if he's gay too, or are you just asking if he's
He
at
is.
work?
He is.
Tommy's
He is.
Tommy's likely gay and super closeted, more closeted than Tarek.
Flo, thank you for bringing your patterns of disagreement, respect, your consistency. No, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Anyone else?
I like
No.
consistency. I'm going to stick by with Tommy's gay. He likes chicks with dicks. He's not straight. He said on my show he's not straight. He doesn't identify as straight. I want to say to Tommy, I have no hate for you, but bring it on. Bring it on with the videos, live streams, whatever you're going to do coming up when your channel comes back, when you said you're going to go after me or whatever. Bring it on, man. I don't care. It doesn't bother me a bit. I love it. I love it. So bring it on. It doesn't bother me. None of this stuff gets to me on YouTube. This shit doesn't mean anything to me. I have a real life. So this stuff, this drama on YouTube stuff, doesn't matter at all. I don't hang on to things for months or hold grudges. Or go ahead, Jack. Peace be with you, brother. Peace be with you.
Yes. Thank you for everything. Thank you for joining. But I'd like you to consider. I mean, this is one of the issues I have with Noelle.
Okay.
She wants to present as though this is just a show.
But I'm King Stephen. I'm not Noelle.
Right. But you're here treating this like it's just a show, perhaps. And I don't want to assume, but your words you just said, YouTube stuff doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, life matters. And this is my life. My purpose has brought me to this. So it's not all entertainment that we're here for. But thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you, brother.
You're welcome. Peace to you all.
Have a good night.
I lied. I do have one more thing to say.
Please.
TML, every time you giggle at something, when you try to say so stoic and cerebral, not try, you just are. You're always thinking. You're in your head. And you giggle and I lose it. I'm just going to have to put myself on mute or something, because every time you start giggling, it's so contrary to your mind and how your mind works that I'm just going to have to ask you to stop laughing. Thanks.
No, don't ever stop laughing. Laugh more and join him, Lynn.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's funny.
Good. Blessings.
Yeah,
Anything
I have
else?
A strange sense of humor since I was a kid. Top in my strange sense of humor is like when machines destroy themselves. I find that very funny, but other people don't really get it. But yeah, blessings.
All right. Anything else, Lindsay? All right. Thank you, my friend. Based?
Yeah, let's see. I showed up here today because my stream got taken down, and I said, fuck it, might as well show up somewhere else. And apparently at the tail end. So anyways, thanks for having me on. I'm not going to reopen anything. We'll just talk another time.
You know what? I hope so. And I hope to catch time with you again. I enjoy talking with you. I really do. Although it seems you stay patient and I end up talking a lot, but I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Have a good one. See you in the
too.
machine.
Brother?
Yeah, I'd like to say a few things about the topic before I leave, and read a passage or two here from the book I've been reading for you guys. But yeah, this basically, style is what you do when no one is looking, and if you're lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company. So that goes to finding comfort within. As Lao Tzu said, he said, my teachings are easy to understand and easy to implement, but no one in the whole world has been able to understand or implement them. And then he goes on to say, my teachings have an ancestor and my activities have a Lord, But people fail to understand these, and I am not understood. Those who understand me are rare. Those who take me as a model are honored. This is why sages wear coarse clothes while cherishing precious jade. They don't put their knowledge on display. That's why he goes on to say, to know that one does not know is best. Not to know, but to believe that one knows is a disease. But anyways, have a blessed one, guys.
Hey, sincerely, thank you, brother. That is beautiful. To not know, but to believe one knows is a disease. Wisdom is beautiful. Knowledge is gorgeous. It's inspiring. Opening the mind to learn different ideas, it allows the heart to expand with greater knowledge, with greater inspiration, with different perspectives. Your life can completely transform. Brothers and sisters, my testimony is that I've witnessed enough miracles, I've experienced enough miracles that it just makes sense to me. Brothers and sisters, especially if you call yourself a Christian, the way of Christ is the way we want to be. And for those of you who don't call yourself Christians, the way of Christ is still the way you want to be. And when I'm offering the way of Christ, it means be a blessing. Be an honorable man, an honorable woman, one who is loyal to the truth, one who is confident with love. And brothers and sisters, I don't know what the future is going to bring. I really don't, but I do have excitement for the future, because if this is real, is this real life or is this just a show? Because if it's just a show, then I'm going to stop worrying about it, maybe stop trying so hard. But if this is real life, let's start dreaming bigger. Okay? Let's find a way to find more comfort, more joy in the challenges, despite the challenges, through the darkness, growing with intention, finding and creating greater comfort and joy. And the key is lean into life, become more with life, unite with life. Don't fight life. Don't resist fight life. Embrace life. And as you press into the discomfort and you walk through some of the challenges without knowing the answers, reassure yourself that when I overcome this, when I push through this, when this happens, man, I'm going to be so excited, so grateful. And I will have so much joy over the newfound strength, over the newfound lessons. We learn through life. Life brings mistakes. Mistakes are sins. We miss the mark. Mistakes and sins are just things to be changed, things to be corrected, lessons to be learned, and, maybe pains and shames to be forgiven. But brothers and sisters, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I could go on and on and on when it comes to love and the love I feel for all of you, but let's be respectful of the time of the day and see what we can get done. Till next time, please do what you can to share this, invite others. Feel free to reach out and connect should you feel guided, and we'll see what happens again tomorrow. Tune in again next time. Choose love, peace for everyone, live without fear. Thank you again, and God bless you.